Hey everyone, my name is Monroe. This is Bobia. We're with Break Diving. We're having our book club slash candlestick course stock market society meeting. So basically combining the stock market society and book club. And we're talking about, again, the candlestick course by Steve Nison,
Yeah.
which is a great stock market book that Bobia recommended to me. And she's already read it. So she's reading it with me for the second time. I'm reading it for the first time. And where are we? This is my Chinese stuff. This is not relevant. Or is this? Where the heck is the, there we go, right here. So the notes that I took, let me just see, from last time, we had, and what I was thinking, let's go to Yahoo again.
Yeah. We learned about hanging man, hammer, shooting star. These are the main.
Here, Yahoo Finance, and here's just a random stock that we were looking at last time. And then, was this the stock that we liked? How do we switch again? I forget. Remember we found it together how we switched to, oh, let's see, we go to full screen and then candle.
Yeah.
Oh, there, it already is candle mode.
It's yeah, already.
So,
oh, this one is not a good one. It's
no, yeah, because it doesn't. Let me see if we can show a 1 month. Is it a brand new stock?
It's doing really great from last week.
Marin? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
It's gone from $2.50 to nearly $20. Did you buy any?
No, I didn't.
Neither did I. I'll leave that open because maybe we'll look
I was just looking at that. So it's like, great.
Let's find another one. Microsoft. Okay, full screen. Okay. So here we go. This is the 1 month chart for Microsoft. And so we were looking at, we have the spinning top, which is means indecision.
Yeah, indecision and small real body, right?
So here, this is a spinning top. Would you say maybe here?
Yeah, so it can, since we are going to doji now, we can consider that also doji as well. I would say, yeah, that one is the spinning top. Yeah.
Indecision, and it's got now. Okay, then there's the high wave candle. That's this thing, but it's got a tall. We don't call them shadows on both sides. Big shadows.
Long shadow.
Find anything with a long shadow.
I think maybe we can
this one.
Yeah, that's again doji. I would say this one we can consider here on the red.
Which one? This one here?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's a high wave candle. So we can find another high wave candle or a spinning top.
These are all the spinning tops, right? The small bodies.
Spinning top, spinning top, spinning top. Okay.
Spinning top, yeah.
Let's see if we can see another high wave candle.
Yeah, that one.
Right here?
Yeah.
Or this one?
After 5. Okay, yeah.
Which one were you looking at? This one here?
Yes.
Yeah, so those are all high waves candles, which means total confusion. No one knows what to do. And when you talked about the hammer, which is always on the downward end, on a downtrend. And let's see. You can see this is easier. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. This could this maybe be a hammer?
I think that one, the June 1st week, that could be a
June 1st week.
Yeah, that one. Yes, that one. See, it's a downtrend and the hammer where you're pointing out. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. No, you're right. The hammer needs to have that at the top, not the bottom.
Yes, at the top and all real body and eye low, twice the size. The lower shadow should be.
Look at that hammer and then boom.
Boom, yeah.
Let's see if we can find another hammer. Hammer, hammer, hammer. So downtrend. See. Hammer. I don't know. This one of these might be.
Yeah, we can consider this one on the November, on the November first week.
November.
Yeah, that's one's the one you're pointed.
This one?
Not that one. The two.
Oh,
two
this
candles.
one.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that looks like a hammer, and then boom, up she goes.
Yes.
And let's see if we can find one. This could maybe be a hammer right here. This is a downtrend, and then we have this. Is that a hammer, or is it not a hammer because it's kind of going up?
Yes, yeah, it's not a downtrend. You can consider, I think, the 1/4 candle before that one could be, yeah,
Or this
before that, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that looks like it. Okay. Then there's the hanging man, which is the same shape, but it's going up. It's on an uptrend. So like right here, hanging man right there.
Yeah,
Perfect.
after the uptrend, but the main condition, we should wait for the next session, and
it drops.
Yes, so it closes below the hanging.
That was a perfect example, because look, it's right there, hanging man, and then drop.
Close, yeah, close below the hanging man body. Yeah.
Do we have other hanging? Oh, it keeps. Hanging man. That looks it's no.
On
Actually, look at that. That's like a hanging. These are both hanging man, right? Here
yeah, but it didn't close. Look at that one. It's next sessions did not close below the hanging man body. So it's like kind of indication we should wait till closes.
This one closed below the hanging man body, right? Because you learned that last time. When it's red, we know that it closed lower than the open.
Yeah, right.
So that maybe this one maybe does work. And this one could be a hanging man too. A hanging man plus that thing, because it. So we're both right here. You reminded me that it has to stop below the previous bodies. So, but that's interesting that here it went down there, but then it stayed up and even went up for a little bit and then crashed.
Yeah.
So that's a good lesson too. If you see the signal, trust it, and don't be confused by the fact that there's it going up for a little bit, because it could very well collapse later.
Yeah.
And this is very interesting. This looks like this is right now.
Yeah.
Means it's going to probably start going down, right? Because we have a hammer. No,
that's not a hammer. That's another called harami. Like after the long candle, there is a small candle.
I haven't learned that one yet.
Yes, it should be in the next 2 chapters. So it's kind of.
But even. No, but you're right though. It's not really a hammer because it does not have a long lower shadow.
Right.
This is more like looks almost kind of like a spinning top, except it's a big body. So it's not a spinning top. So here I don't have enough information here based on my information.
Right.
Except, is this a shooting star? Let's see. The next one is shooting star. It's an uptrend. That is a shooting star, or no? Because it doesn't have a long enough shadow.
No, yeah, it doesn't have long enough shadow.
Doesn't have a long. I tell you this. Looking at like on Webull now, when I'm doing my when I'm doing my just looking at the stocks that I want, usually I would kind of just guess. Now I'm looking and seeing, do I see a hanging man? Do I see a hammer? Well, and actually what I'm looking specifically for is the hammer, because that hammer would know buy. Likely
right.
And it's interesting because it's making me a little bit more cautious
Yes.
when I'm buying the stocks now. And now it's not just me going, oh, what's the volume? And has it been very volatile in the last 10 minutes? Which may very well be a fine strategy because it works a lot of times if you can put a good take profit order in. But how much better if I have more tools to add?
Right.
I'm excited about this. And now we can learn what's great about it, it allows, looking at this before, it's just looking at, all I could see was up and down. Now I'm actually seeing, why is it going up and why is it going down? Right?
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, very fantastic. I agree.
Okay.
All right. So today we're going to look at the doji. Unfortunately, I only read the first 2 paragraphs for this meeting, but we can go over it together like we did last time. It's actually helpful. The doji is very important. When it appears in an uptrend, especially in a zone of prior resistance, it can signal a significant trend shift or reversal. Naturally, candles subsequent to the doji's appearance confirm the turn. In fact, the doji's ability to convey the market's message is echoed in a letter I received from a medical doctor. He wrote, "As a physician, I can most appreciate the simplicity and effectiveness of candlestick charting. Like a stethoscope, simplistic in design, powerful in diagnosis, candlestick charting has shown me a form of technical analysis well suited to diagnosing the health of my stocks." Very good. We're going to learn lots of dojis today.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. I just checked how long is this one? 1, 2, 3. Good. You know what's funny? It always looks like, how can we possibly talk about all of this? It's because this one's going to be a long chapter, 15 pages, and still he's going to talk about all 4 or 5 of these in 2.5 pages. So let's do that. The Japanese place great significance on the power of the doji, especially in the context of a market experience, a market uptrend. This candle line, either alone or included in a 2 or 3 candle pattern, warns you that a trend shift may be happening. The doji is a session in which the opening and closing prices are the same.
Yeah.
So it resembles a cross.
Right.
Interesting. Like the spinning top. So here, let's just look back here, even before I've even learned what that is. That's kind of a doji.
Right.
That's kind of a doji. That might be a doji. Doji. This is not a doji because it's thicker, right? So it didn't start and end at the same spot. This one's doji. This is not a doji, right?
No.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So, and look, it happens more often than you think. Very, very interesting. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, like the spinning top, the doji indicates a market in complete balance between supply and demand. Since a doji represents a market at a juncture of indecision, it can often be an early warning that a preceding rally could be losing steam. So I'm already trying to figure out what's the difference between a doji and a spinning top. The only difference is the doji is exactly same open and close price.
Yes.
Whereas the spinning top could open at 10 and close at $10.15, which is still going to be a very small.
Yeah. Spinning top will have a small body. Yeah.
So a doji is even more indecision.
Right.
It's like a very precise spinning. Okay. The ideal doji forms with the same opening and closing price, but it's flexible. When the opening and closing price are only a few ticks from each other, you can still consider it a doji. Heard the old saying, the stock market hates uncertainty. The doji is synonymous with uncertainty, considering it a warning that the framework built by the bulls may soon falter or crumble. So this is a good sign to either, you could have a doji either on a downtrend or an uptrend then, yes?
Yes. It's on
a downtrend, watch out, it could be turning around. Or I would say watch out, get ready.
Yeah, be cautious.
So if you see a doji followed by a hammer.
Yeah, that's definitely a signal of,
Something good.
Right.
Okay. While doji are extremely valuable at calling market tops, especially after a long white candle. Let's see if we see a doji after a long white candle. That's sort of
yes, shut up, right.
doji, and then okay, and then
Here on 21st of April, that after that, yeah, after the long candle, there was
look at that.
Yeah.
And look, there are two of them in a row.
Right. So
And
that
then
means
boom.
down.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think I can understand the psychology of that now because look, everybody's buying, but then they don't.
We don't know. Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You know what? Let's get rid of it.
Yes.
Interesting. You know what, Bobby? This is a good actually way for us to do this. Keep moving forward. Let's always have a chart open.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Continue. While doji are extremely valuable at calling market top, the doji's possible negative influence at trend tops comes from its warning that the market is indecisive. We just talked about that. So a close over the doji's high could be a signal that the bulls have regained a foothold. But here, yes, there's a close over the high, but it's still a
doji.
It's still a doji.
Yeah, then it's like completely jump down.
So if this is doji, then could we say this is a form of a spinning top, and so is this?
No, it's not a spinning top. Spinning top will have a small body, right? It has a long body.
Is this a doji followed by a spinning top?
Yeah, we could say that one as a.
Or is this would you say this is a
still it's in
between candle?
Show me yeah. It can fall under I wave candle. And of course, I wave candle is another form of spinning top, right? Yes.
Okay, interesting. Got it. Although a doji's appearance in a rally might signal an exhausted market, a doji's emergence in a downtrend may not portend a bottom. Interesting. Other Western indicators and price environment must confirm a market turning into a base. Why? Remember that a doji indicates indecision. Indecision and uncertainty in an oversold market may just be a resting place before another downturn resumes. So why is a downtrend? So you have to look. Is it a downtrend? Yes. Is it also oversold? So what does oversold mean here? Do you know what that means?
So many people sold it. So it's kind of undervalued now. So next would be like it might usually in the oversold range. Yeah. What happens? They say it's like undervalued. That's a RSI indicator indicates if it's a RSI. You can see in the RSI chart. If it's below 30, it's oversold, and it's above 70, it's overbought. Yeah. No, oversold. Yeah. And overbought. What is that called? RSI. RSI.
RSA?
RSI chart. RSI.
Relative strength indicator.
Yep.
Okay, got it. Depending on the placement of the open and close price on the session, some doji have nicknames. These doji are still reversal indicators, but they hint at more positive or negative outcomes. A few of these are the Dragonfly, the Gravestone, the Northern, and the Southern. So here, 2.8 is going to show us. So long-legged doji, Dragonfly doji, Gravestone doji, Northern doji, Southern doji.
Yeah.
Okay. Long-legged. Let's find a long-legged. So that's a long-legged doji right here.
Yeah, because there's low upper and shadow.
Upper and lower shadow.
Long upper and lower shadow. Yes.
And let's see. That's almost a Gravestone doji. And that's
Yeah.
also almost a Dragonfly Doji.
You know, Dragonfly Doji, that's similar, looks like that. Dragonfly with the its wings down. That's why they call it Dragonfly.
Because it looks like a dragonfly?
Yeah, it's with the, yeah. I think you have shown in one of his videos how it's like similar, you know, how he pictured
it
the
looks
dragonfly and this one, yeah.
Okay, so the dragonfly forms with open and close near or at the high of the candle. Oh, it says near. Near. So this is a dragonfly doji. Oh, that's too big.
It can still, yeah, that is.
Maybe this one's a little bit better. That one's a little better. So it doesn't have to be completely flat, right? At the
No,
top.
doesn't have, yes. It's a,
Yeah, I can see
maybe
how it looks like a dragonfly now because it has the wings. Those are the wings, and then the long tail, and the
yes.
gravestone. Obviously, it looks like there's the ground, and then the gravestone. Looking at it from the side.
Right.
Okay, and then northern doji just means a long-legged one going up. Oh,
Comes
northern and
after
southern
uptrend.
exact same, right? It's like almost looks like a total cross.
Yes, long
right?
leg. Yeah.
Yes. The candle emits bullish implications. So let's look at those dragonflies. Did it continue to go up after that point? Yep, it went up. Dragonfly, look, it went up. Dragonfly. So look, it might potentially, I don't know, we'll have to see what happens when that comes
Yes.
after. But it
Yeah.
could maybe go up. Okay. Great. And I imagine the gravestone one is, well, it's going to keep going. Its longer lower shadow shows the market fell sharply during the session, but buying pressure pushed the price back up to close at or very near the session's high. Let's say it again. Its long lower shadow right here shows the market fell sharply, yeah, but buying pressure pushed it back up so it closed at or near the session's high. If you're thinking it resembles a hammer, but without the real body, you are correct. Okay. Pay attention when you see the Dragonfly Doji emerging during declines that have become oversold. Normally, Doji and declines are not important, but the Dragonfly Doji is an exception. The bearish counterpart is the Gravestone Doji, also shown in Exhibit 2.8. The Gravestone Doji's open, low, and close reside at the bottom. You can understand the name, it looks like a tombstone. The doji is more influential when it's rare. If numerous doji are formed on a particular chart, do not view the development of a new doji as meaningful. So he's potentially saying that because there are so many doji on this chart, maybe it's not as valuable?
Not very sure. Maybe it's continuously many dojis, but it's not continuous here. It's like
continuous. That's like maybe there are a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And a Japanese proverb says, "Don't climb a tree to catch a fish." Gravestone Doji has an ominous sound to its name and portends a potential uptrend reversal, but don't give it more import than it has. Even though its extended upper shadow and close at the low amplifies a trend change, candle signals don't forecast the scope of a possible decline. Remember, candle signals give you early reversal or change signals, but they don't predict future price targets. So even if there are numerous Gravestone Doji, it doesn't perforce mean the market will fall that much steeper. It just means the odds of a turn are greater than they would be with one Gravestone Doji. Even if there are numerous Gravestone Doji, it doesn't perforce mean the market will fall that much steeper. So if you see 3 Doji, that doesn't mean it's going to crash.
Yeah.
It's likely that it's going to. But wait, isn't the Oh, it doesn't mean the market's going to fall steeper. It means that it's potentially going to turn around to an uptrend. Is that right? Oh no, we could have a wait. We could have a gravestone on an uptrend,
Gravestone.
right?
Gravestone and an uptrend. Yes.
Sorry, the gravestone doji strong point is in calling top reversals. So if we see a gravestone at the top, let's see if we can find something. Gravestone, let's look. There's a gravestone. And
yeah,
so look, it showed, yes, there's going to be a reversal, but it did not mean it's going to be a crash, because look what happened. Look at that. It ended up going so much more later in the month of April. So yes, there might be a downturn, but keep an eye on it because it may be short-term downturn. Right? Because that's what he was saying there. It's not the
it just means that the odds of a turn are greater than
they would be with one gravestone. So it doesn't mean it's going to fall that much deeper. It just means, yes, it's likely going to go down. But it doesn't say by how much. The only way you can tell is by looking at the next candles to see. So you got to keep an eye on the candles constantly. I guess that's the whole point. You keep looking at those candles, each one, and it'll give you some more information. This could become addicting. This could become a drug where you're just sitting here looking, what's the next candle? What's the next candle? So imagine an uptrend becoming overbought, rising on white real bodies. Perhaps a glance at the chart tells you that recent resistance at the same price level is also in place. Now the gravestone doji appears. The market opens, rises to a much higher price, shown by the extended upper shadow, then falls to the low of the session to close. For the moment, at least, the bears have won control. If the next candle falls to the downside, this signal is complete. So look back again. That is the key with these candles. You have to think about the real people behind that candle and what the real people, the buyers and sellers, are doing. So right here, it says, hey, it started at $237.58. And then the buyers brought it all the way up to above 240. The sellers got control again and brought it back down to 237.58. And then at the next session, the sellers got control.
Right.
It was a 235. So guess what? It's going down even more. So if you didn't sell at this point, you probably should have sold here. But here, could we say this is no? Is there a signal here? Hammer.
No, that's not a. We can't consider that as a hammer because the hammer comes after downtrend. But it's only the.
Isn't this a downtrend here?
No, that's a late lateral, right? That's 3/4. All that 5 candles shows, it's going lateral.
So then what, I'm just wondering, do you see anything here in this lateral that portends that it's going to increase? I think the word is portend. But I don't have, from the things I've learned so far, I don't see any signal that this is about to go up.
I think I can say that when there comes a last chapter that's a falling window. That when you go, there is a window that becomes a resistance once it's broken. So it broke that resistance. So that means it's going to uptrend.
Oh, I see. Because we have this resistance kind of like right here.
Yeah.
And then we saw that it went higher. Got it. Interesting. Okay. Naturally, if the candle that forms after a gravestone doji rises above it and culminates in a long white real body or other positive candle line, the potential trend reversal given by the gravestone is negated. To differentiate between doji appearing in a rally and those materializing in a decline, I refer to the former as northern doji, The latter is Southern Doji. A doji with long upper and lower shadows is called a long-legged doji.
Mhm.
Like a pivotal word in a sentence, the doji gives optimum signals when taken in the context of a prior trend, when they confirm other technical indicators or patterns, and during consideration of follow-through. Key point. When the market is rising and overbought, and then a
Mhm.
doji appears after a tail.
After a tall white candle.
Oh, after a tall white candle.
Mhm.
My English will be at your level one day. And I will find the
That
differentiation.
would be great.
I'm hoping one day that I can speak English like you, because I thought it said tail, but you knew. Oh.
Ah.
After a tall white candle, the Japanese say that the market is tired. So
Hmm.
when the market is rising and overbought, and then a doji appears after a tall white candle. Do we have a doji after a tall white candle? Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
There's a doji after a tall white candle. Then
Yeah.
the market is tired. What an appropriate way to view doji. A doji's emergence may not foretell a price reversal. It may just suggest the market is vulnerable and susceptible to change. A trader can use the highest high between the doji and the prior candle as resistance. There you go.
Yes. Yeah.
The market closes above that area. The Japanese say the bulls are refreshed. So wait,
Refreshed. Okay.
a trader can use the highest high
Highest high. That means if there is a
between the doji and the prior candle. So the highest high between a doji, let's find here, a doji and a prior candle.
this one, the last but one, that one we can consider there's a long white candle, the green candle, last but one, and there is it followed by doji. Last July now.
A trader can use the highest high between the doji and the prior candle as resistance. I don't understand that.
Okay, you see a long white candle.
I can't. Oh, I gotta stop the screen share. Hold on. Okay, go ahead. I can see now. Show me.
Okay, 1 minute. Long white candle followed
Yeah.
by doji.
Yeah.
And this, it can be a resistance since it's a highest high.
Oh.
Here's again long white candle,
Yeah.
then doji, but his highest high is this one.
Oh. So here the highest high is
No, I would say in the last but one in
this
the
one?
July. No, and last one.
This one?
And July.
July.
July, the candle. There is a long white body followed by doji. Resistance would be there, 271.4.
Oh, okay. So if it goes below, so if this one here had crossed, if the upper shadow had crossed over 271.40 buy signal.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Potential buy signal.
Right, because it's already not sure. Yeah, maybe we need a confirmation with other signals. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
In section 3, we'll finish our discussion of single candle lines by exploring the messages displayed by bullish and bearish belt holds and their long real bodies. We'll also talk about the psychology that underpin these candles with an attitude. Okay. Questions about the dangerous doji.
Mhm.
A doji is a session. A. Open and close are the same. Right?
Doji session. Yeah. Right.
What is a doji signal? Stalemate. Bulls and bears are in a stalemate.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yes. They're both.
If the spinning top has a very small real body, it has the same implications. If a spinning top has a very real small body, it has the same implications as a
Doji.
doji. Yeah, got it.
Right.
Yep, that's what we were talking about. For a dragonfly, the high of the session represents the open, high, and close. For a tombstone, the low of the session. The doji in a rally is, let's see, don't give me your answer yet. I would say sometimes a sell signal.
Right. Even I agree with that. Let's see.
For a gravestone doji, the low of the session is the open, low, and close. As a hammer's real body gets smaller, it will ultimately become a dragonfly doji.
Hammer. Yeah, that's right.
Right. As a shooting star's real body gets smaller and smaller, it will ultimately become a gravestone. That's interesting. They're the same, but the size of the body is different. So what's the difference between a hammer and a dragonfly? Like, well, if you see a hammer or you see a dragonfly, that's going to show different. Huh. That's interesting. As a shooting star's real body gets smaller and smarter, it will ultimately become, we talked about gravestone. A spinning top is to a long rail body. A spinning top is to a long rail body, as a doji is to a spinning top.
No. Okay, yes. Right.
Doji in an uptrend is called a, what do you think? Doji.
Northern.
That's right. Yeah. Northern doji.
Are most effective.
Northern doji are most effective when Northern doji are most effective when market is overbought. Yes. Doji appears at a resistance area. So B
right.
And 12. Okay, which is a gravestone doji? We know that's 2. Which is a dragonfly? That's 3. The long-legged doji. That's okay. Exhibit 210 shows a doji in a downtrend. Should you pay attention to this doji? Okay.
Wait.
So
shows a doji in a downtrend. Okay, yeah. Should you pay attention to this? Yes, of course, yeah.
I would say yes to. Let's find out which one.
A. I go with the A.
I would say because of support, it confirms a support level too. Yeah, because you just told me that it creates that new resistance level, right?
Yes.
Okay. 211 shows doji following a tall white candle down here. Assuming this is a daily chart, at what price would the market have to get above to be considered a bullish breakout? Right, so exhibit 2.1 shows doji following a tall white candle. Got it? This is a daily chart. At what price would the market have to get above to be considered a bullish breakout? It'd have to get above this, a close over, I thought it would have to be 1.
I go for close over 2 because what they said, ISI would be a resistance level.
Oh, it's because it's the high between the two of them, which is the high.
Yes.
So because the previous one only got here, the doji got to 2, and it's got to be 2. So a close on A. Yes?
Yes.
Got it. Match the patterns with their candlestick terms.
Okay.
So number 1 is hanging man.
No, not number 1, right?
No.
Yes, right. You are right. Sorry.
It is?
Yeah. Hanging man comes after uptrend.
Uptrend, hanging man. This would be our hammer.
Right.
This would be shooting star.
Right.
Northern doji.
Right.
That's a southern doji.
Right.
Spinning top. Is that a highway?
High level. Yeah, I kind of.
Candle. So
even spinning top it is, but yeah, they just mentioned high wave candles. So
So do we have to check the answers, or I think we got them all right? Don't you think?
Yeah,
should-
I think so. But I think you should read some of them to
Oh, their
get a
answers.
good, yeah, answer. Yeah.
A doji reflects a market in a state of transition, is consequently one of the more. Oh, maybe we'll find out the difference between a hammer and a dragonfly.
Mm.
A doji session has a horizontal line instead of a real body because a doji is formed when the sessions open and close are the same. Stay especially cautious when you see a doji materialize after a tall white candle in the contents of a significant uptrend. This is true whether the doji is within the prior long white real body or above it. A doji means that the bulls are failing to sustain the upside drive. The market is considered tired, hence susceptible to a correction. Doji is synonymous with indecision, vulnerable to correction. So if they said before that high wave candle is a total confusion. So a doji is kind of similar to a spinning top in that it's not total confusion, it's just indecision.
They said doji spinning top is indecision, but high wave candle is a confusion, right?
Yeah, spinning top, indecision, high wave candle, total confusion.
Right.
And here he's saying that doji is also indecision.
Right.
Okay. Doji often work better as markers of top reversals than bottom reversals. So a doji is typically better for a sell signal than a buy signal, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Although the ideal doji has the opening and closing at the same level, if the real body is small enough, it has the same implications as a doji.
Right.
Okay. How do you decide whether a near doji day, open and close are very close but not exactly the same, should be considered a doji? One method I recommend is compare a near doji day to recent action. If there are a series of very small real bodies, I would not view the near doji day as significant, since so many recent periods had small real bodies or doji. Compare a near doji day to recent action. So the question is like the fact that like here we had two here as these look like doji. This looks like here, this could be a near doji. Maybe. It's hard to say because I don't know how they determine. Maybe there's enough time between all of these that this is considered this near doji can be considered a doji. And this near doji can be considered a doji. But these are definitely doji.
Yeah.
Because they're very small. So, Okay. The Dragonfly Doji completes its formation with the open high and close of the session's high. It might have more bullish implications than a regular doji. The long lower shadow of the Dragonfly illustrates the market selling off steeply during the session and then springing back to close at the highs of that session. So it almost seems like I don't understand why. Okay, he says that doji are more effective to show a downturn than an upturn, right? So it's better as a sell signal than a buy signal. But a hammer looks. Oh, never mind. I don't understand then why can't, if a hammer in a downtrend is a signal of a reversal, why can't a dragonfly on a downtrend also be
Yeah, it can be a reversal signal. It looks like after the downtrend.
I don't know, maybe we'll talk about it. I just because I don't understand if a hammer is a clear signal,
Right.
it's going to be a reversal to an uptrend.
Mhm.
then why did he say that the doji is better for a sell signal, not a buy signal? So that's what I want to find out.
Good point. Yeah.
What is the difference between, let's see, like here, this is a hammer.
Right.
Why is that a big buy signal? But if it were very skinny and closer to the top, it's not so much. That's a good question.
That's a good question. Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk about that.
Mhm.
Um, the long shot of the Dragonfly Doji, we talked about that. A doji is more effective if it appears in an extended rally or uptrend, especially if the market is overbought. Its signal is even more powerful if it appears at a resistance level. The gravestone doji completes its formation with the open, low, and close. Therefore, it has slightly more bearish implications than a regular doji. This doji sets a negative tone with its long upper shadow. Tells you the market opened and then moved up to an intra-session high, but then fell to close at the opening price. As a hammer's real body becomes smaller, it may become a dragonfly doji. Oh, here we go. Hammer's body becomes smaller, it may become a dragonfly doji. Since such a doji displays the open, high, and close at the high of the session.
Yes.
So with a hammer's small real body at the top end of the trading range, when the real body gets smaller and smaller, meaning the open and close get closer to one another, the trend culminates in the formation of a dragonfly doji. Great, but it doesn't tell us why the hammer is a reversal signal and a dragonfly it maybe not be. Maybe we'll learn more. The gravestone has the open, low, and close at the low of the session. A shooting star would become a gravestone as its real body shrinks. Great. In this question, we're comparing the size of the real bodies. Consequently, a spinning top has a smaller real body than a long real body. Continuing this analogy, a doji session has a smaller real body than a spinning top session. Remember, spinning top is the nickname for a small real body.
Right.
As opposed to a doji in a descending market, a southern doji, a doji in an ascending market is northern. Northern doji are more effective at calling top reversals, and southern doji are calling bottom reversals. Okay. When a doji, this is a long paragraph. When a doji appears in the middle of the trading range, you should ignore it. Doji, like candlestick signals, are reversal indicators. Therefore, they need a trend to reverse. So if it's in the middle of a middle trend, it doesn't mean anything. If the market's in a lateral box range, there's no trend to reverse. The doji would not be a signal to place a trade. The odds of return for a northern doji are enhanced if the market is overextended and near resistance. It's important to remember that the more signals you have confirming the same support or resistance, the more likely a reversal is. Consequently, if a doji appears to confirm a resistance area, the odds of return is higher than if no resistance is there. This underscores the critical aspect of always considering candles in the context of recent price pattern history. In this instance, if the market moved in a lateral range before the doji appeared, we would not use it as a trading signal. But if a doji developed after a rally, especially if the doji confirmed a prior resistance area, it has a high probability of being a reversal. Okay. A gravestone doji has the open low at the bottom. Good. A long-legged doji has very long upper and lower shadows. A long-legged doji is also called a high wave doji. A dragonfly has the open, high, and close at the high. It's probably called a dragonfly since it looks at the good. Got it. Normally, a doji in a downtrend, southern doji, doesn't work as well as a northern doji. Why? However, all candle signals
must be observed in the
observed in the context of, in this example, the doji is considered potential support. As such, it takes on more significance. Since the high of the doji is at 2, we use a close above that level. Good. And we've got all those correctly.
Yes,
let's look online and see if we can find difference between Apache and Nginx. Difference between, what do we want to do? What do we just call them? Dragonfly and hammer. If they talk about it, saying a dragonfly is an animal, a hammer is a tool. This is hammer, dragonfly, and gravestone.
Why, maybe question is why Dragonfly Doji is as not effective as hammer?
Yeah, I guess we should ask it specifically. Why is a hammer more effective as a
Than
reversal signal than a dragonfly? Okay, let's look up, let's open all of these. Open link a new tab, open link a new tab. The Hammer Candlestick Trading Strategy Guide. Here's another one, Hammer Candlestick. All right, let's see, maybe we'll get some information here.
Yeah.
How can this be called a bearish hammer? Why is he calling that a hammer? That doesn't look like a hammer.
Yeah.
And here, bullish hammer. And that's on an uptrend. But that would be not called a hammer, that would be called a hanging man. So what, I guess there's a lot of different names for these. Let's go to this next one. An indication of a trend. A dragonfly symbolizes the bullish sentiment, preventing the price from breaching below. The Dragonfly Doji, accompanied by high trade volume, is generally a more reliable signal than one that comes with relatively low volume. It is similar to a bullish hammer pattern, except near identical opening and closing. Okay. Closing and opening are the same, we know that. Bullish, Dragonfly Doji is the rejection of a price trajectory. Okay. Appearance of a dragonfly does symbolize the bullish sentiment. It functions best when used aligned other technical indicators, because the dragonfly can also be a sign of market uncertainty rather than an outright reversal. Maybe that's the difference. Oh, well, no, because a hammer doesn't have to be a white body. It could be a black body too, right?
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if it's a white or black, but if it's a white, it has a like more bullish signal.
And here's something else interesting. Compared to other candlestick patterns, the dragonfly is quite rare. So, by the way, what did you just say?
I said like it doesn't matter if it's a white or black, but if it's just white, that means like it shows more bullish signal.
If it's white or green, it's better than black or red.
Right.
Okay, happy mistakes. The dragonfly can signal a reversal towards either the upside or downside based on the incoming trend. It's similar to the bullish hammer pattern, except the near identical opening and closing. It has a T shape. Okay, the low period in the case of a dragonfly is distinctive T shape. When the pattern appears after bullish movement, it indicates a potential price decline. Okay, but let's see. A dragonfly during an uptrend. During an uptrend, a dragonfly doji is considered a weak signal. This is because, honestly, for me, what I've been doing with my day trading, which I do maybe once every 2 weeks, when you text me and it reminds me that I should open Weevil, I don't really care about the downturn, because all I'm trying to do is get like a 1 or 2% return.
Yep.
And so I just put my sell take profit order. So it's not really, all I care about is it about to be a reversal and go up. So I guess it's important to know the other ones too, but I'm more fascinated by this dragonfly and the hammer. As a potential signal. So a dragonfly during an uptrend is what we're talking about, but during the downtrend, let's learn about it real quick. When the market moves down, a Dragonfly Doji is considered much more substantial due to the swift change in power from the sellers to the buyers. In this case, the confirmation candle closes above the Dragonfly Doji. The Dragonfly Doji formation indicates a change in the trend is coming. But waiting for the confirmation candle can be the difference between saving your assets and unnecessary losses. Once the candlestick formation is confirmed, traders place orders on the confirmation candle's close. Well, that's interesting. It's called a confirmation candle. So you might get one candle that says, something's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The next candle becomes your confirmation candle, whether to buy or sell.
Okay.
So that's interesting. So the limitations. It's popular, but not reliable always.
Okay.
Never trade an open candlestick. Oh, that's interesting.
Never to trade an open candlestick. Okay.
You got to wait for that session to close.
Yeah.
You don't know what could happen. It could change the potential candlestick. Always ensure that the confirmation candlestick has occurred. So don't look at one closed one and then start looking at the direction of the next one and assume, oh, look, it looks like a hanging man, and then 10 seconds you sell, and then 10 seconds later it turns into something completely different, and you go, oh no. Until it's confirmed and it closes, there's no guarantee of a trend reversal.
Right.
Time is also an essential factor when trading the Dragonfly Doji. Higher time frames can strengthen the validity of the pattern. Okay. So, well, that's interesting. So here's the Dragonfly Doji isn't the most common candlestick chart pattern. It does occur here or there, even in cryptocurrency markets. A temporary bearish price reversal on Bitcoin's daily time frame. As the chart shows, prices continued going down after the bearish Dragonfly Doji's appearance, which appeared during a period of consolidation following a predominantly bullish move. So we had this Dragonfly, and it started to, and the open and close. And that showed great indecision because it's a dragonfly. And then the next one confirmed it.
Right.
So you may have lost some, like if you bought here and sold at the bottom here, you still made a profit.
Right.
You avoided this. Now here, this kind of shows indecision, which could be a sign that there's a reversal coming, because here we've got a
high wave candle, right?
High wave candle, total confusion. Right, high wave candle, total confusion. But then that confusion is resolved.
Right.
With this very clear white body that started basically at the low of the previous session and ended at a higher than even the close. So that's a very good buy signal, I think.
Yeah, that's called, next we will read, that's an engulfing bullish candle. It engulfs.
Look at you, you know all this stuff.
Yeah, so.
Wow. You know, I realize now that you learn about this, I'm starting to think maybe doing day trading on Bitcoin and Dogecoin is good, because if you can pay, all it's doing constantly is going up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
So very good. This is good. Here's indecision constantly for this whole time. But then we have a shooting star not shooting star, a spinning top slash doji. Very close. And based on what we're saying, maybe it is it could be a doji, because we haven't had very many of them close in recent time, which means indecision, which means it could be reversing soon. And then confirmation here. And honestly, if I like bought here, and, or actually bought here, because we, after
Right.
this one closed, I bought here and I can get up to here. As soon as I saw that indecision, I'm not waiting for this close. I'm selling, right? Because look at that big price increase, and that's better than I'm not gonna look how much you lost. And so yeah, you might. What if the indecision changed and it kept going up? I don't know. It's a hard thing to say. I think I'd rather a bird in the
think,
hand is worth two in the bush.
yeah, but there are other factors also, like, the resistance level, the previous resistance level. It reached there, the top white candle, top two white candles are reached the same price level. It
So
could be a
there's the
resistance from, resistance from the previous, the initial where it's the same. It's rejected their price in the previous resistance also. I think, yeah. So it could be a signal. It's a double top, they say, when it's reached the same resistance level twice. That's a dangerous. Yeah, twice, and
that's a
it's
good,
rejected
that's a resistance level. So
yeah,
there's indecision and a resistance level you might want to sell.
right. It's like saying they're rejecting the price, that resistance level, the price is being rejected. So it's better, I think, better to sell.
This could sort of be a hammer. Could it be or no?
Yeah, because it's a lower shadow is 2 times the body, and then there is a downtrend.
So maybe so. And then look at that, boom.
Hmm.
Then it goes up again. And I would say here, like here, this is looks sort of like it's a down, it's in a not much of a downtrend, a little bit, but then another hammer. Boom.
Right.
That thing goes up again. I'll tell you, if we get good at this,
that's what's a major thing. Yeah.
Sky's the limit. Let's see what these guys say. Price action trading. Okay. We can come back to this all later. Hammer candlestick trading guide. Hanging man versus hammer. God, you got me addicted to this stuff now, Bhavya. You got me. You should be ashamed of yourself and proud of yourself at the same time.
I'm proud of myself.
Okay, so let's look at a current. Chart. Now let's look in the last 1 day.
Yeah.
For Microsoft. Okay. Here.
Okay.
Okay. So far not doing so well for Microsoft today.
Completely different picture from monthly to a day, right?
Say it again.
It's completely different picture from monthly to a day, right? Monthly it's showing its uptrend, and here it's completely downtrend.
You also realize too, like the candlesticks now, would you say? You know all of the candlestick patterns at this point, or most of them?
Most of them, yes.
Most of them. So you and I are looking at this with completely different eyes, because I only have a limited number of patterns that I can look at. Right. But let's see if we can look at all the different patterns on here. Do you want to do that together with me before we finish up?
Yes.
We'll try to find every pattern, only the ones that we've learned so far.
Right. Okay.
Otherwise, I'll be confused. So, come on, move the screen. Why won't it let me show that? I want to see the top of. I want to let. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's see if we can find a spinning top. This could be a spinning top. This could, no, let's see, spinning top.
Yeah, that could be, right? It's with a small body, yeah, that's all. It doesn't matter where it is coming. Spinning
that's right.
top
Hammers,
is just
hanging man, shooting stars, they're all forms of spinning tops.
Right.
Okay, so we've got spinning top. Okay, this is a high wave candle.
Yeah, we can consider that. There
And
is a confusion, and then confusion continued for many sessions. 2, 3. Yeah.
yeah, look at that. Confusion.
Yeah.
Confusion. Look, there's a gravestone doji. Exactly. A precise gravestone doji.
Right.
Which means it's likely going to be continue the downturn. No, wait, gravestone. Wait, what does gravestone mean again? Yeah, it's going to be a down.
Indecision, right? Yeah, it's not going to be a downtrend, I would say. It depends like where it is coming. If it's that's coming on the after upgrade and near the resistance level, then we should be considering it is as a like be cautious. Next might be
Because
less
the
session
psychology
kind
of it is that it started at 270, then lots of people bought it, and lots of people sold it, and it ended up exactly where it is. So it's indecision, but the bears have control.
Yeah.
So it's indecision, but it could potentially, if it continues, be a downtrend. Okay, let's look for a hammer.
Yeah, it's there. Right one. No, you just cross that.
Hammer.
Yeah, hammer. Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at that. Big downtrend hammer. Boom. Yeah, that's a perfect buy symbol. Down, down, signal. Down, 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 hammer. Boom. You would have gone from 270, 60 to 270, 83. What a big gain of 20 cents. But if you had many shares, that would have been good. Let's see if we see another hammer. Look, that looks like a hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, just and another, it's this hammer can be more, we can give more importance because it's reached the same resistance as not support level as the previous candle, that red candle. There's a support.
This is the previous one.
No, that red previous of the 2 candles before.
Yeah, but what's this one?
No, the another one, the red one. Yes, that one.
No, but this is a candle too, right?
Yeah, that's a doji. Oh, nothing is there. Maybe it's a close day.
It opened and closed at the same price, and nobody bought it or sold it.
I think it's maybe market was closed that day because there is no value in itself.
No, look, this is from 11:12 a.m. That's 11:11, 11:12, 11:13. I think it's just because it's minute by minute.
It's a day. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bought it and sold it at the exact same price.
Right,
so it is super doji.
Maybe there is no buyer or seller. It's just nothing there. Nobody bought and sold.
No, but it has a price there. So it had to have, right?
But there's no volume. See the volume chart? You can see that red and...
Oh, but there's no volume chart for these either.
That's interesting. Why there is no volume?
Maybe because it's 11:18. Maybe we don't get the volume chart until the next section. You see how this is dark color?
That is not true. Dark. That's not true because maybe I don't know about in this chart, but it usually on Webull it shows the volume immediately.
Let's see what happens at 11:19, and if maybe at 11:19 it's going to show us the volume for that period. So, but anyway, this could be a hammer, and up she goes. Good. And next we want to look for a hanging man. That's a hanging. Is that a hanging man? Not really. It's too big.
Yeah, we can. No, I think it's lower shadow. It's not 2 times of the real body, right?
Yeah. Okay. So let's see if we can see another hang. All right. So we just switched over there. It's still not there. Why do we have volume?
Maybe it's not updated.
Let me refresh.
Yeah. No, still, yeah, it is there now. Maybe you have to refresh the page to look at it.
Oh yeah, now it's showing. So there must have been a problem.
Yeah.
It's right here, 11:12. And we didn't have it, so. Then I'll want to look for oh, hanging man right there. And it was a perfect signal.
Mhm.
So there's an uptrend, hanging man, kaboom.
Right.
Okay, and shooting star. Do we see a shooting star?
Uptrend and a long.
There's that gravestone, but shooting star has to be on an uptrend though. So we
Oh,
want
it's there. See, after the long candle that
Here?
10 for 24 a.m. After the long up above, long candle.
1024?
Yeah, that's one. That's one.
This one here.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that boom. Uptrend down. I found one here too. Oh no, that's not an uptrend really, is it? Well, I guess you could say this is an uptrend if you look at it in the big scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
Uptrend, shooting, then shooting star.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find another one. Uptrend, shooting star.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Uptrend, shooting star.
Right.
And now this is interesting. Uptrend, that's kind of a shooting star. That's more of a doji.
Yeah.
The doji. Okay. Uptrend, let's find one more shooting star. These are very strange with these.
Mhm.
I don't understand that. I almost think the software is messed up. So. Okay. Yeah, shooting star down. Okay. Next is a doji. Let's find a doji. Doji right there.
Hmm.
And that's an example why a gravestone type doji is not necessarily a signal of a downturn. Because look, it went up, even though it's pretty much a gravestone. Would you agree? Or is that not a gravestone?
It is a gravestone, and there you can see in the last 3 candles reach the same support area, and volume was high, down. So that
Well,
means the buyers are buying still. It's like fight between them, and it's suddenly went up.
so those 3 together are a good buy signal.
Right.
And then boom. And then right here, signal maybe you want to sell because it becomes, now it's indecision.
Shooting star.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it is a shooting star. You're right. And then boom. Oh my gosh. So this is going up. What I'm wondering over here, what is the signal is there a signal that it's going down?
Harami after the long body, that is a small body. That's called Harami.
I have to sneeze, but I can't. I got it.
God bless you.
What's that?
God bless you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So this is great. I think we did good today. We learned more about the doji. So the next time we're going to do long real bodies, consummate storytellers. So bullish, belt hold, bearish, belt hold, white opening, shaven bottom, shaven top, belt hold, candle line blow up. We're only on page 64 of 226. Oh my gosh. There's a lot to go. So for those of you who have ended up watching this on YouTube, good job sticking around for the whole thing. We hope we're getting you as excited as we are about doing technical analysis using Japanese candlesticks to help improve our day trading and potentially even our long-term trading, because that can help no matter what the time frame. And hope you'll click like, hope you'll click subscribe, and hope you'll come join us at breakdiving.io. Bye.